Hi, welcome back to Blue Mountain Bushcraft and Outdoors. How many times have you heard this saying, "That's a really good knife for the money"? Plenty, I'm sure. It always leaves you with a little doubt in the back of your mind as to whether it's really a high quality piece of gear or if it's just a pretty nice knife for what you have to pay for it. Well, hopefully I can answer that question for you today with something that's not going to break the bank. Stand by. So a while ago, I was contacted by the folks at Schrade to see if I wanted to start taking a look at some of their knives and reviewing them for them. After going back and forth for a little while, I decided that, you know what, I don't mind taking a look and reviewing some of their equipment because I like what Schrade's doing. So I gave this a lot of consideration when Schrade asked me if I wanted to review their knives, because a lot of people out there are reviewing Schrade's products. But I've had some personal interactions with them and they've been extremely responsive to not only reviewer feedback but customer feedback, and they seem to be continuously trying to improve the quality of their offerings. Now, some of their stuff is still silly. There's no doubt about it, and it's not for me. But they have some really solid offerings, and that's what I'm bringing you here today. This is something relatively new. It's going to be coming out in the market. You know what, I'm not sure when, but I think fairly soon. This particular knife is the Schrade SCHF52. Now, there are 3 other models that are associated with this, but this is the blade that I've gravitated towards. This is the one that I have been absolutely thoroughly thumping on and abusing since they came in. So let's take a look, and I'm going to show you why this knife isn't just a good knife for the money, but why it's just a plain good knife, period. so let's talk about this knife a little bit. So this is the Schrade SCHF52. There are 4 models in this new line. This is, I guess, the upgraded or updated version of their Schrade's old Frontier series, their bushcraft series. Those knives were very well received. These are 1095 high carbon steel. They've got some sort of a smooth black coating that, as you can see, wears off fairly easily. I don't find any reason to need to strip it because it's smooth and it doesn't hamper the ability of the knife at all, like that old traction coating that they used to put on here. This particular model has the Tpe handles. These are a rubberized kind of handle, and I prefer these over the micarta handles that they offer that I'll show you here in a minute. It slims the grip down a little bit. It gives really good traction, excellent feel, and it doesn't add a whole lot of weight to make this really handle heavy like the micarta version does. The micarta ones, this is the SCHF51 You can see they're a bit thicker. This one is completely unmodified as delivered. It has some sharpish edges around here which need to be sanded down, but it's a more substantial grip and it does change the balance of the knife a little bit. So here you can see the 52 and the 52M side by side. They are identical blades, the only difference being the handle. So this plain 52 has these rubberized TPE handles. The M has the micarta handles. So if you want something a little bit more hand filling, these micarta handles may well be the way to go. And you can also see up here where this jimping is, the micarta handles come up flush with the top of the jimping. So you really don't feel the jimping much at all. I've abused the heck out of this knife. I've chopped with it, I've pried with it, I've dug this tip into oak and all manner of ugly materials and pried with it, and it is as straight as when it was sent to me. It's perfect. So the heat treat on this seems excellent. This particular blade I have resharpened, reprofiled a little bit to suit my liking, but as it comes from the factory, it's got a pretty good profile on it already. It doesn't really need too much, and I used this one pretty extensively before I decided to go ahead and put my own edge on. Then this same series is the SCHF51 and the SCHF51M. Same construction overall. You're just looking at a shorter overall length and shorter blade. Now, I'll be honest with you, I have not spent a whole lot of time with these two smaller ones because they just don't feel right to me. A lot of people really like this smaller one, and it is easier to carry around. Some people probably like the ergonomics of this a little bit better, but it's still a pretty big, beefy knife. And for me, I just like the added capabilities of the 52. The extra reach, the added chopping power, and with a choil, you're still able to choke up in there and do some fine work with it. The blade thickness on these, the stock thickness is about 1/4 inch. I think it might just be a little bit less, but not much. It's essentially a 1/4 inch blade. However, unlike things like the BK2, which that 1/4 inch blade pretty much translates into this being a sharpened pry bar, Schrade has effectively turned this into a highly effective cutting tool by putting this hollow grind on here. And what that does is that kind of thins the blade out and really allows this to cut vastly better than a really thick blade like the BK2 that just has a standard saber grind on it. Okay guys, so what are my final thoughts on these new Schrades? You know, like I said in the beginning, Schrade sent these to me to test out. I didn't pay for them. But I have an understanding with Schrade that if they send me a product that sucks, and they really want me to review it, I'm going to tell people it sucks. And fortunately, these don't suck. This is a really good blade. I can honestly say that if you were to strip the Schrade name and markings off of here and put on a name of one of the companies that does some of the higher end semi-production 1095 stuff, that people would have no problem paying 2 to 3 times the amount of money than they're going to have to pay to get one of these. It really holds up well. The steel is excellent. The heat treat is good. Ergonomics are very good. On this one, the balance is good. These smaller ones, these don't feel quite as good to me, but you know, that's a personal thing. But this 52, I really like this knife a lot. So as time goes on, I'm going to continue to use this throughout the winter. I'm going to beat the crap out of it, more than I already have. Do some modifications, maybe play around with these micarta handles a little bit more, you know, and see what happens. And if the thing falls apart, guys, I'll be right back on here to let you know that they're falling apart. All right, guys, if you liked the video, do me a favor, click the thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, share this video with your friends, and if you want to talk about this, please post some comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And if you want to get more in depth, come on over to our Facebook group, Blue Mountain Bushcraft and Outdoors. Links will be down below, and come check us out. When these things hit the market, guys, snap one up, try it out. I think you'll really like it. See ya. Hey guys, last minute update. I just received word this morning, and today is October 21st, 2016, that starting today, these knives are going to start being available in retailers. I will put a link down below for the first one that's supposed to be going live this afternoon. I think it's knifedepot.com. But all of the major outlets should start carrying these sometime this week. So if you want to buy one, you're in luck, because they're going to be available. They're here. All right, guys, take care. See ya.